Hey, I'm Goose, and welcome back. I have a very fun interview for you guys today. I spent some time talking with RaleDesign. If you don't know Rale, he is very, very good at interiors and small scale building. And I also have to say, I have never felt as inspired about Minecraft as I did after this interview. He is infectiously inspiring. It was fantastic to talk with him. I'm very, very excited for you guys to get to watch this. If you like my stuff, you can support me on Patreon. Make sure you subscribe, like, all that good stuff. It helps me out tremendously. I've also been streaming a lot more on YouTube and Twitch, so you can check me out there. And there's a link to my Discord in the description. So hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get into it. We're here with Rale, and we are going to be talking a lot about small scale building and interiors, which you have done a lot of, I can tell by all of your asset banks that you have here.
There's a lot of, yes, 5 years of making these assets.
Okay, well that was my first question: is how long you've been doing this?
Sure.
So have you been doing stuff like this the entire time you've been playing, or have you been playing a long time and then about 5 years ago you really got into like building an asset library?
So I started, playing 12 years ago, but actually like building, I could say I started doing like 7 or 8 years ago, because I always wanted to be like involved with architecture, and I always liked engineering. So I was always like a building person. I liked structures. They always fascinated me. The functions of them fascinated me. So decided in 2020, when we were all at home for a specific reason, to start showing other people what you can actually add to your houses, to your interiors, some details, assets. Because I always wanted my builds to feel alive and have a soul. And I think with as much as things like that are functional or would be functional in real life, and having them in your city, in your village, in your house, is, I think, more like it makes the place alive. It's not just a world, then it's actually a living world. It has a story. And I think that's most important with a Minecraft world, to not get bored, or just like make it a little bit more fun. Like, I just see on my Explorer page just new builders coming up, and their styles are just amazing, and it all looks so nice, and they all have their own styles, which I absolutely love seeing. Because every time I see something fresh, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm never gonna get bored of this game, because there's always something new to make with it. It's just amazing to see other people do it as well. Because I think Minecraft is an art form. You can make art in it. And I just love it. It makes my day when I open Minecraft and can build something in it.
I think a lot of that really is a testament to it being an art form, that it is always expanding. There's always something
Yes.
new you can do with it. It is so open-ended. It really is, there's a lot of sandbox games, but it is,
Yeah.
I would say, the most sandbox game where it's like, here's your materials, have fun.
Yeah, just do everything. Do anything you want. There's like, you can just do anything. Like, nothing's gonna stop you from building something. Unless you're playing survival and it takes you 30 days to make a house, but that's a whole different thing. That's Survival is different. I love survival as well. I didn't play that much in the last years, but when I do play it, it gives me an insight. Like, it makes me feel like a kid again, because I want to make my world have a soul again, and then my brain starts thinking in a different way, so it boosts my creativity. So I think survival really helps a lot with boosting my creativity and showing me what new I can build, what new I can add. So I think it actually helps. However, it takes a lot of time to build in it.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, that's my long answer to the question of how long I've been building.
No, that's perfect. That's great. I mean, that alone, that's a lot that we can dive into. So a couple
True.
things that you mentioned in there is your interest in architecture and engineering. Is that something you've
Yes.
pursued like professionally, or just as an interest? Is something you
I
like?
I am a student of engineering, so I'm currently studying engineering. It's my last year of
Oh,
studying
nice.
it. So it made my mind think differently, creatively as well, because I just started thinking in a way of like, what would actually be used here for what function. Because I'm pursuing industrial engineering, and it's mostly about logical thinking and critical thinking. Next to all the physics and math, but who likes math? I'm kidding. Math is good.
I
Math
love
is actually really good.
I love math. No, I think math is
Yeah.
really interesting.
It's very fun. Yeah.
I was curious, since you had the interest in architecture as well, do you have any artistic outlet outside of Minecraft that you feel like relates to engineering?
That's a good question. I think there are some overlaps. Like when I do some drawings for my engineering class, I kind of get I get a sense of it differently because I played Minecraft. I just have like an artistic way of interpreting math now. It's not just math. Like my mind is more three dimensional now because of Minecraft. It's not just a solution I have to do. It actually became fun. But there's not really that much of an overlap in engineering with Minecraft that much. It's just like the mind of it, like the mindset of it. I just think about differently in Minecraft because of engineering and engineering because of Minecraft. You just think a bit differently. You think critically. You think three dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that like engineering. It's not that artistic.
I do think there's a lot of crossover between artistic problem solving and the problem solving and critical thinking you gain from engineering, which I
Yeah,
think is something that's overlooked a lot, where people view. My background is in painting, oil painting specifically, and a lot
yeah,
of people view, painting on art as this purely expressive thing, when it really does tend to be a very structural problem solving, planning,
yes,
preparation kind of stuff.
yes.
Yeah, and that
I agree.
that crossover of that aspect of thinking I do see in both in engineering and in any creative process.
Yeah, well, I started oil painting actually when you like last year.
Oh, really? Oh,
So that
awesome.
yeah. So like actually I put a lot of knowledge I got from Minecraft and a way of shading or coloring or just thinking about art just made me want to do something in real life as well. And I fell in love with it. I actually started watching like Bob Ross
Yeah.
for starting, and I got all these kits, and I really enjoy oil painting. Of course, in the beginning, it's nothing special, but then when you don't think about the techniques and you just paint what you want, when you get a little bit into it, and don't have to think about anything, you can just draw and paint. It's so nice. Your brain forgets about anything else. I never had that feeling before, except in Minecraft.
It
That
really
you are
is.
creating
Yeah.
something, you're just creating something. You're not even thinking about it, and it's just there. You made something. You made something you're proud of, you like, and you can hang it on a wall and watch it. And it was also fun to do it, messy but fun.
Yeah. If you're willing to, I'd love to see some of your paintings. And if you don't mind if I
Oh,
put one or
sure.
two of them in here,
I
yeah.
can send some pictures. Yes, I'll definitely send some pictures.
Okay, cool. I'll throw
That were
some in there.
really fun.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's cool to hear that you do that. I love oil painting. I love painting of all kinds, but oil painting specifically
I
really,
love the
really.
way you can just mix the colors in oil painting.
Mhm.
That's my favorite thing. Like Minecraft made me start a new real life hobby, which is really cool. What Minecraft can Minecraft changed my whole life really. I think there's a lot of people that Minecraft really impacted their lives a lot. So I'm really happy to see other stories like that where people are just like I don't know, they just found something they liked by doing Minecraft. So it's just a special game for me, and it always will be a special game. And I'm gonna have to make my kids play
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
it. So yes,
I have some younger cousins that are kind of getting to the point where they might start getting into it, and I'm like, yes, please, like, please start doing this.
yes,
I I
just
have I have no one to
start.
talk to about it except for my little cousins.
Exactly, exactly.
So have you always been interested in doing interiors? And I want to actually let's hop over on the other side of this wall.
Yep.
This is some of my favorite stuff you do is your floor designs, because
Oh, I love doing floors. Yeah.
it's so interesting, and I love things like this because it's so limiting, where everything is a
It
square,
is.
and
Yeah.
most of your designs you only use two, sometimes three different blocks. Um,
Yep.
but you can do so many different designs and different palettes. Some of
There's
the
so much.
you were actually one of the first people on Instagram that I followed for
Oh,
Minecraft.
really?
Um,
That's amazing.
and I didn't realize it was you for like until I joined the bakery. I was like, oh, that's that guy. And
That's cool.
your floor designs were one of the first things that really got me interested in color in Minecraft. And I believe the very first thing I built on my creative world was like a couple different floor patterns. And
Oh, that's so nice.
it's such a good way to practice to practice palettes to see how they work
It
together.
is. It definitely is. I
Mhm.
would heavily agree to that. I mean, I don't know. I love the limitations of floors because you have a 5 block radius. I mean, I have some larger floors here as well, but there's much less of them.
Mhm.
Though I have more floors that I built before, but I didn't save them. So like from 2020 to 2022, the floors from then are not here because I just started having this area since like 2023. But they were pretty close. I mean, there's so much blocks you can use and make different palettes and different like techniques you can do to actually make floors look different. I love when a texture connects to a different block in such a satisfying way. And which one is it that I liked really? Bone blocks and quartz pillars are one of my favorites because it seems like there's a circle just happening in the floor. Like things like that is what my brain is just like yes when I find something like that. But yeah, one of my favorite additions were the autocrafters because they're directional and you can make so much patterns with them. So I went crazy with them and pistons because they kind of look similar. So this one is one of my favorites because like there's so much things happening. You have to really look at it to see what's actually
Yeah,
going on.
there really is a lot, and seeing too,
Yeah,
yeah, how they like having the piston sideways up against an upward facing piston,
yeah, and
and the
they
way
kind of
those,
connect then
yeah,
into yeah.
the way they line up is really cool. So you have a very interesting uh, procedure with building. Is you save all of your assets. Like when you build something, you save it. I assume you probably also just build assets for fun. Do
Yeah.
you anytime you build something that you like, do you add it to your catalog?
I do mostly. Some of the builds, I feel like the assets are maybe like too small or too specific. So I'm like, these are probably not gonna be that much used. So I just leave them in my builds. But like these chimneys, I did use them in builds, and most of the chimneys I have, did use them in builds because I always love building chimneys. I don't know why.
These are really cool chimneys
Uh,
too. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, these were I think Harry Potter chimneys. I was making like Harry Potter interiors. And I was like, I need to save them because I really like how they turned out. But like for chairs and tables, I'm like they're pretty well, not simple designs, but pretty repetitive or things like that. I don't feel like I need to add them here.
Yeah,
Because I would just add too much.
there's not a ton of
Yeah.
different ways to do them too.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just gonna put assets here that would give me inspiration for new assets. And then when I have inspiration to make some very, very unique or new assets I didn't have in mind before, I would place them then here.
You have a Patreon for a lot of these assets, don't you?
Yes, I do get all of these assets plus in tiers in a single tier, so like people can get all of the inspiration from them they need, or just use them in builds they want. I mean, most of these assets I try to picture them the best so you can just copy them from the picture, so you don't need to get the asset pack because I want people to just get inspiration and not be behind a paywall, you know,
Yeah.
because that's my original thought. I just want to people to have be inspired, so you can build 99% of these just from pictures, but I pose these so like people can just have them in the same place if they want to support a creator. They get this and they just get a lot of inspiration they can take, you know.
So speaking of the interiors that you have here, you more so than anybody that I've interviewed so far build on a small scale. I feel like most of the people that I've talked to at least, and that have been kind of coming up in the building scene lately, tend to do these very, very large scale, elaborate coloring and organics and structures.
Yes.
And I think that there is, and a lot of them agree with me in this when I mention it to them, that there is a very different mindset for building small scale. And it's not like one is better than the other, but it takes a different
Yeah.
kind of mindset to use, just 25 by 25 blocks to tell a story versus
Yes.
being able to use like 1,000 by 1,000.
Yeah. So myself, I like having barriers. I like being constricted. Because it makes my brain think better, more creative. Because if I have a blank space of 5,000 blocks, I'm gonna be overwhelmed myself. I'm gonna be too overwhelmed. I'm not gonna know where to start. Though I love big projects, but my brain is not very good with them. So what I was feeling like is let me just make a little isometric space. And actually Grayson, he and I actually thought of this idea. The first isometric interiors was done with him. And then he gave me this great idea. Why not just continue doing this isometric interiors and tell different stories about them? So I have a lot of different themes in this interiors that when I start building it, I try to actually just imagine the whole room, what functions it would have, how it would look like, why it would be like that, and all of these different questions I ask myself before I start doing an interior. And then I'm like, okay, I need this, I need that, I want to have this in my space. I need a kitchen table, I need a stove, I need that, or whatever the theme is. And then my brain is much more creative than thinking about a huge project and then having to think about everything in it. This way I can keep my brain just thinking about a few things and be more creative in that way, because I'll actually have the time to finish it and I won't feel overwhelmed. Well, I do feel overwhelmed sometimes because there's a lot of interiors I want to do, but it's nothing like projects Shovel does
Yeah, yeah.
or people like that. Those are just not for my brain. When I do an interior for one of his builds, I'm already like, oh, this is too much Shovel. And then he just does it 50,000 times more than I just did with that single build.
I just watched
And
his
I'm
video
yeah.
yesterday, and I it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The amount of
It's
narrative and design and everything that he puts
it's
into those is
insane.
awesome. Yeah.
It's so much thoughts you have to put in a project like that my brain I would try not to quit, but it would want to quit really, really fast into the project.
Yeah, working on
So
large
yeah.
scale stuff is a very different mindset. And I think
It's
it's good that
hard, yeah.
you recognize that, and so you focus on just, on doing little things like this,
Yeah.
cuz like each
Yeah.
one of these rooms has so much detail packed into it and so
Yeah.
much narrative, and they're all so different, and it's like a little IKEA of
It is.
little
It
houses.
is. Claire told me why not build an IKEA and then just put all my rooms in there, and just like have a showcase. And I'm all up for it. I want to do it. I want to get the time up for it. So that's my plan to build a huge IKEA and just place all my builds inside, and then you can just go through it and just get so much inspiration, because I do tend to go to IKEA really frequently, and that might actually be like the why I actually started doing these isometric things so much.
Me and my wife always joke that if we ever for some reason like won the lottery or something and got a giant house, we want a house with a lot of rooms, not because we need the space, we just want to be able to theme every room differently. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I know I'm not going to use the jungle themed room, but I like knowing that I have a little jungle theme room.
Yeah, and it's fun to build it as well, to
Yeah.
think like yes, yes. Oh yeah, this one is actually with Shovel. He was like, oh, let's do an interior real quick. And we did it in like 20 minutes, and I really like how his brain works with these pipes and just like the functionality he actually keeps in mind when building it. It's not just a build, it would actually function in real life
Yeah,
if
he
it existed there.
puts a lot of thought into it.
He
Yeah.
does, he puts a lot of thought. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But
trying to
yeah.
snag him for an interview. We'll see if he has time.
Yeah, I mean, he has on a lot of information about everything. He's a really, really good builder. He's a really good person, and I think his insights into building are just on another level. He thinks about building and storytelling so differently than anybody else I've talked to. And like he can teach so much. Like he's a really good teacher as well,
Mhm.
and a really good helper. So he's just on a whole different level, I would say. But yeah, it shows in his videos. Like his videos are one of a kind. So
Yeah.
so yeah, they're just the storytelling and everything. They're just so nice.
Yeah, they really are.
I do it on a smaller scale, a much smaller scale, but I'm always proud when I finish a build I like, even if it's 50 times smaller than just one of his builds.
No, yeah, and you really should be. I mean, it really is not a competition of bigger is better.
No,
It's
it's art. Yeah, I don't think there's competition in art. There's nothing like that. I think it's like everything. Everybody has their own way of looking at art, and I think everybody is successful if they like their own art. Like nobody can say to another person if their art is successful. I think you can only do that for yourself.
yeah, Yep, 100%.
So yeah, if you like the product you made, well, product. If you like just the art you made, it's enough. I don't think you don't need any more validation from anybody else.
Yeah, that's especially hard nowadays with I mean, with social media and even with YouTube and with creating videos and with posting stuff, is
Yes.
finding that balance between I'm doing this for me and this is a self fulfillment thing, and I'm doing
Yeah.
this as a business, or I'm doing this, because I like it. Like I painted for a long time because I loved it. And then I
Yeah.
eventually made it into my career and into a business, and it completely changes the way that you feel and think about a craft when you turn it into a job. And
Yes,
I
it's a whole different thing.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah, and it's kind of sad. Like I haven't painted in a long time. That's why I started doing Minecraft stuff, because I needed a break from it, and it's
Yeah.
hard to get over that. I think the biggest contradiction with that is that when you spend less time worrying about making it as a product and more time just making it for yourself, it tends to
Yeah.
perform better as a product anyway.
Yeah, as you said, it's hard in these times, especially when some people are just chasing views and likes, and are not really looking into the craft that much. I think it's a wrong way of looking at it. I think you should do what you like to do. If it works, it's great. Of course, you have to think about the customer or the people as well. But I think at the end of your life, you'll be more grateful that you did it for yourself than for anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is
So
hard
yeah,
to keep in mind, but it is something to definitely keep in
it's very
mind.
hard to keep in mind, especially now
Yeah.
when we're young. You're just like, no, I want everybody to like this. I want everything. No, just be like yourself. Just like yourself, like what you do. It's the most important part. It's always gonna be the most important part. And you should just focus on that. And I think there's a lot of lessons we still have to learn, and I want to learn so much lessons in life. But I think that's one of the important ones, to just be grateful what you do for yourself. Because we're almost never grateful to ourselves. I don't think nobody says thank you to themselves. And we need to do that more, because we make ourselves happy.
I think those are very wise words.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I
Yeah.
really appreciate your time and showing me around. This has been fantastic.
Awesome.
If you guys haven't checked out Rale, go check him out on Instagram. That'll be in the description. I'll plug your Patreon down there too, if you guys want to be able to grab all these assets and take a
Awesome.
look at
Thank you.
them. Is there anything else you want to plug, or anyone else, or you got
I
the floor?
I want to say thank you to you for inviting me, because this has been a really really nice time. I always love talking about Minecraft because it changed my life. And it's really nice to show someone what I made, and they actually like enjoy that as well. It's always makes me happy. So yeah, I want to plug all of the Minecraft builders, because I don't know, they're just insane what people do nowadays. The bakery's been a big part of my life as well. Everybody in there is such an amazing person, next to being an amazing builder. Those are just an amazing bunch of people, and the techniques they do, I'm just every day I learn something new from them, and not just from them. The whole Minecraft community, just it's very like, you were in the 24-hour building event, and the 48-hour, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was insane. Like the people, you see how friendly they are, how supportive they are. Everybody had a different technique, a different style. It was insane to look at it. And I just want to say thank you to all of them, because they just they make Minecraft special. And Minecraft is a special game on its own as well. But I just want to give props to everybody. Everybody I see builds, and everybody that just builds for fun and for them their own lives, to have a nicer day just playing Minecraft. So yeah, nobody specific. I just wanna thank everybody that spreads their creativity and their happiness, their techniques into the world. Not just Minecraft, but art as well.
Well, you hear that? Thank you, everybody. You guys are doing fantastic. And Rail, thank you. You are infectiously inspiring. I really enjoyed that talk.
I'm glad,
Yeah.
and thank you again for reminding me. It's been such a nice time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm sure I will talk to you soon. We'll figure something out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You too. I hope you two have a really nice day.
All right. Later, man.
Later. Bye bye.